Ever since I called Kendrick Lamar senpai, I've had an influx of commenters saying something to the degree of, well, Bela, are you gonna talk about the time that Kendrick Lamar defended R. Kelly? Bela, Kendrick Lamar said he was gonna take his music down from Spotify if they took R. Kelly's music down. What I'm going to do right now is defend Kendrick Lamar, because he never defended R. Kelly, and you're just taking what he said completely out of context. In 2018, Spotify temporarily launched their artist misconduct policy, which basically meant that if they disagreed with the behavior of any artist in particular, they could just take their music down at their leisure. The first two targets here were R. Kelly, who, while we didn't know the bulk of what we know now about him, we already knew he wasn't a very good person, and XXXTentacion, who, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't have any sexual abuse charges, but does have some domestic abuse allegations. He also beat up a gay guy in prison once, which, you know, that's not very nice of him. Kendrick Lamar perceived this policy as unfairly targeting only black artists, and because of that, he said if they were to continue doing this, he would be pulling his music down from Spotify. Now, let me say first and foremost, would this be the hill that I personally would be willing to die on? No, but in case you couldn't tell already, I'm not a black guy, so, you know, I don't exactly know where the priorities lay here. What I will say is that Kendrick Lamar, beyond anything else here, has a fucking point. If we're going to start taking people's music down because they have a criminal record, do you have any idea how many fucking white men we would need to filter through before we even get to the 21st century? And as much as people will argue that it's different because hip-hop artists often bring their criminal activity into the music, they seem to just turn the left cheek coincidentally when white guys do the same fucking thing. If we're gonna be forcibly removing people's discographies from streaming services, perhaps we could first start with the beloved Iggy Pop, one of the most prolific rock stars of all time, who once opened his song Look Away with the lyrics, "I slept with Sable when she was 13, her parents were too rich to do anything." This song was available on all streaming services, including Spotify, up until just a few short years ago when his label took it down. Spotify didn't make him. That means that at the same time that Spotify was unleashing these policies and only targeting black artists, Iggy Pop just had this song up on Spotify and was making money off of it. You ever heard of this song, Into the Night by Benny Mardones? One of the biggest hits of the 1980s, and it's literally just a song about statutorily raping a 16-year-old girl. Not so fun fact, this song was a #1 hit twice in the 80s. Once in 1980 when it came out, and then again in 1989. It was in a movie, and people were like, you know what, that song? That wasn't enough of a #1 hit. That song about raping a child, let's make that a hit song again. But guess what's been sitting pretty and comfortably on Spotify since its inception? As a matter of fact, you know what we're gonna do here? We're just gonna stay in the lane of hip-hop. I want you to go listen to Guilty Conscience by Eminem. I want you to come back to me and tell me that we need to take XXXTentacion's music down because it's too problematic. So, in conclusion, no, Kendrick Lamar was not the bitch in question who was dancing making R. Kelly go viral. He was simply making a pretty good point, and utilizing it to deflect from the fact that Drake is an actual predator is kinda weird of you.